Hi guys, sorry there has been delay today. I'm 3 minutes late than usual. So this is the fifth day of our Oxygen Bootcamp, and today we are going to finish up two things that I haven't covered yesterday. I tried to cover, but it's not like completely able to show it. So what we will do today is complete the Flexbox things and move ahead by understanding Oxygen things again. I hope the learning sessions have been engaging and you are able to learn from them. Okay, we might not have anyone live today because it's Monday and everyone will be at their offices and working. So it's completely fine. Let me complete that first. So talking about Flexbox yesterday, but I was not able to show you a couple of things like shrink and grow. So we will do that now. After that, we will directly jump on understanding what Oxygen Builder. So today I had made like very few slides on how we can understand custom post types and advanced custom fields, and also how post meta and anything like understanding what post type is and where does post data come in. Okay, so where were we? Flexbox. Let me see if this is the one. Yes, this was the one. Let me edit this with Oxygen. So when we click on edit with Oxygen, we are opening it with Oxygen. That's what we want to do. Just give me 1 minute here. Okay. So, okay. So these are like 5 normal, not 5, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 divs. So this div and this div have the same properties. Let me show it to you. You can see the width is 100 px. Here you can also see the width is 100 and height is 100 px. If we go to the same thing, but if we see the width and height for the both divs are 100 pixels. Let's just rename them so it will be very easy for us when we see things. It is like light blue, maybe like it's like okay, let's see atomic secondary. Let's call it gray, blue gray. It makes sense calling it blue gray. Now this is orangish, orange pink. Okay, even though they are having the same properties, but they look completely different. Like, I mean, the width looks completely different because we are telling the orange pink div to grow to like we are asking it to take whatever the space there is. If we just get rid of this and if we just do the 0, then you can see it. This is the normal size for the div. We can try different things like whatever the space is available. I'm telling it to take everything. So if it takes everything and we ask it to grow twice, it like there is no difference it makes. So you think it's taking the same place, but let me show you what happens beyond our screens, like beyond what is happening there. So let's just keep it as at shrink to, so it takes the whatever space is available there. This is no, we are growing it. So let's see how it looks on the front end. So whatever the space was available, it is taking that space. Even if let's duplicate this, the shrink grow is 2. Let's instead of that, let's try 1. We reload this. We don't see anything because whatever the space was already there, it's taking that. So that's shrink like flex grow. If we try to understand what's happening with flex shrink, even though I shrink it by 1 factor or 2 factor or 3, it actually does not make any sense. Let me show you where it actually, like, all the remaining divs which has text here content in that. So all these divs are similar except for the one which is having a little bit of padding. So let me show you. We added a padding of 5px. So we added some padding to it. 5px. Let's make it 10. Let's keep it 5. So then I can show you something I prepared for. Now what we will do, we will select flex and ask it to shrink by a factor of 1, 2, 3. It's not making any difference, right? That's what we're thinking. It's not making any difference. So let's keep it 0 so we can edit this property on the front end. If we come here and reload it, there is nothing happening here because we set it to shrink 0. Now let's open the inspect element or inspector tool and see what's happening here. You can clearly see that all the 5 divs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divs are similar, but the last one which has text here is a little bit different because of the padding that we gave for it. We have, where is it? So you can see that we have given it the padding, but if you remove all the padding, it's the same element. We are saying it to okay, let me just first get rid of the parent. I was trying to saying the parent to shrink, but we cannot tell the parent to shrink. Come back here and let's reload this once. Now let's select our element here. I've selected our element, which is the child element, and you can see that there is flex shrink. If we make it to shrink, whatever the additional space that it is having in here, it means the padding. So if we just go with shrink 1, 1 second. Okay, so this is flex shrink 0. It's not going to shrink. You can clearly see it has different styling compared to the other elements, but if we try flex shrink 1, there is some shrinkage there. And if we see 2, flex shrink 0 where it's not shrinking, but if we just try flex shrink default, which takes the shrinkage from the child, which is 2, then the content is shrinking a little bit. Where I'm missing things. Let's try this again. So these are all the so this is the parent. So this is a container. That's what I'm thinking. So that's container. So section is our container. Let's see if it's the container or not. So that's our container. We have div here. Let's try to shrink this itself because it is also a child. So let's see if the order works. So the order is working. So right side is positive, to move it to the left side it's negative. Yes. So shrink will work on this and this too because both are children. First let's try shrinking this. 0 will be no shrinkage, 1 has to have some shrinkage in it. Now let's go to text and let's get rid of any string that we have added here. Let's just check it on the front page. Okay, I got an idea. What if we just get rid of this, and instead of the last one, we will have two elements, but we will apply string differently. So both of them are same. Now what we will do, what we will do is apply string differently. So this has 1, but this will have 0. And again, it worked properly when there was like very little space for it. You can see what's happening here. So we are telling the string, the last text, which does not have any string, like which has 0 string. We are saying it not to shrink. Let's go here. This one, let's say it has a string factor of 1. Server returned fine. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, it's working fine. So this is how the text is normally like this. The fourth, okay. So with the zero string, you can see the content is not being string, but with one string, which means we're adding some string, then it's going there, like it's decreasing. But again, you can, with zero string, the content is not at all shrinking. Even though windows are becoming too small, you can still see zero string is like, it's still going strong. So that's the difference between zero shrink and one shrink. And if you keep on adding it, the shrinkage factor goes just like that. So I hope it was clear. If it's not clear, do let me know in the mail or just drop me a message. I will try to cover this. So let's make it normal. There is one person watching. Let me know who it is. I will be very happy to know your name. This is done. Now let's save it. We have been fooling around with custom post type and advanced custom fields from the bootcamp itself, from the 6 days of Oxygen learning, but we were not able to do something with Oxygen. So by today, I think, but today itself, we will do something crazy with that. Okay. So we have finished the Flexbox. Okay, this is one thing I really wanted to talk about. So I thought of covering the same on the first day itself, but we did not have enough time to cover this thing on the first day. So even though this is 5th day, yes, this is the 5th day, so it's fine. We are taking our sweet time, but I'm hoping that this is the 5th day or the 4th. What? 1 second, just give me 1 second. In our sweet time, but I'm hoping that. Yep, this is the 5th day. That's good. So even though we are on the 5th day, we still have 5 long days to go where we will continue building Oxygen websites. And when we are doing that, I will make sure that we are going to cover every major Oxygen feature there is and explaining in detail how we can use that in different ways. So first thing, let's go to our curriculum and see where we are and how we are doing. So we have completed essential CSS and also essential HTML. Now we are at WordPress. WordPress, yes. Finally, we are at WordPress. So we're not going to cover domain, subdomain types of hosting, but we will cover what makes a good hosting. Hosting a simple website. What is front end? We will not cover any of that because we are diving deeper. I just wanted to make this more Oxygen centric because we did not do any marketing, and most of the, like nearly all of the people who are enrolled for this bootcamp are from Oxygen Builder group. So we are assuming that these things need not to be explained, because this syllabus or curriculum was planned for people who have absolutely no experience on web. So this was not just Oxygen Bootcamp, this was WordPress with Oxygen Bootcamp. So introduction to WordPress was included. Okay, first let me complete this. This not that this will not be something very deeper. I will not be recommending anything in very specific. But what I would like to do is, when you're buying a laptop, the rule of thumb, like things that you need to understand are: higher clock speed processors give you better performance, but more cores give you better performance. So the nanometer in which your processor are built on, they will give you more power efficiency if they are not the first generation of them. So like things like that, when you're trying to buy a hosting, you should always keep some basic things and then go ahead with buying that host. So that's what I want to give, like what are the things that you need to look at when you're buying a hosting or renting any server or things like that. So that's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about why you should go with AWS or why you should choose. What are the options? DigitalOcean, WP Engine, or Flywheel, things like that. I don't want to get into that discussion because I don't think I have enough expertise, because I haven't used all of them. So I don't think I'm educated enough to give you suggestion on what you need to get. I'm only going to talk about what I personally think will make good hosting providers or good any hosting. So first thing is the physical location. So if your client, it doesn't matter where you are from, it only matters where your clients are going to come mostly from. So if your clients are mostly coming from India and you have a server which is located in Frankfurt, or if you have a server which is located in let's say USA or Canada or even Europe, so every time a visitor comes to your location who is from India, there is a long road where your data is going. It's like an insanely long road, and each request from the user and your, when loading a single page, there is more than a single request to the database he is making, right? So what happens in that case is, so that user is looking for just the home page who is from Mumbai, but your server is located somewhere around Washington, like let's say New York. The problem is it takes a long time for the user to get all that data. So what's the best thing to do is get hosting in the same place where most of your customers are going to come. So that's one thing I came to know very, not very late, maybe after one year or 1.5 year after I started building websites and finding hosts. Before understanding this, my only intention has always been, let's get the cheapest hosting possible and let's get that from the biggest name possible. So obviously I went with GoDaddy, which like saying things now, it's like a very big mistake. That's what I think. Going with coded is like a mistake, because they pack everything in the website with too many users, and which is not definitely recommended. So let me talk first about. So we have covered physical location. Let's just. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to use this. So the first thing is location. So wherever your users are coming from, make sure your server is also very close to that, or your server is in the same location. So that's the first thing. So the second thing is to make sure that you have good caching system which the hosting provider is giving to you. So if the hosting is by default giving you some, so if you see things like light speed servers, they have default caching mechanism which is called light speed cache. So they also have a plugin on wp.org. So what happens is if they give you a like this plugin is completely for free, and you think that this one is a premium plugin because they have so many features and like features by default. It makes so much sense because if there is one very powerful server and they have a caching mechanism, and to enable that caching mechanism in any WP website they have a plugin for that. So everything like this makes sense. So if you are getting any, my recommendation would be if they are giving you some premium caching solution, always use it. So I am not currently on a Lightspeed server, so I cannot use this, but if I had an option I would have always chose Lightspeed server if it's coming at the same cost and everything else is same. Let's look at what the third thing is. Raw performance. So another important factor to consider is how many resources that are you getting. So let's say you have a chip. So this is CPU. This is not a virus. This is CPU, and you have RAM. You cannot draw the picture of RAM. And what is the storage that you're getting, and what kind of storage is it? Is it an SSD, or is it an hard disk, HDD? And other important thing is the bandwidth. So bandwidth, right now I have one Amazon instance which has a 2 TB of bandwidth. Like it's insane, and it completely shows how good or bad it is. And again, there are several factors like CPU. You have to understand how many users are you going to get, and what's the clock speed, how powerful, like how many cores do you have, and it's the same thing with RAM. Like how, like what is it, 4 GB? Like 4 GB is good. If you get 16, it's insane. You can host your client websites also here if you just get one Amazon instance. The storage SSD is what it has to be now. And the fourth thing which I did not mention is, and the most important thing will be security. So we are definitely building WordPress websites, and WordPress powers one. They power one out of every three websites on the planet. So this obviously makes WordPress an easy target for people who want to use our resources for bad intentions. Like, so our servers or our websites are running on servers, and they can be used to do DDoS attacks, which are like denial of service attacks. Like our websites have very valuable resources, so if they can access them, they can either take our users away from our website. Let me show you one such instance where our website can be used for many other things. Hindustan. So this is one of the biggest. So this company is one of the biggest. What do you call? I think they sorted things out. But earlier, what was happening is this their website was completely hacked and they had malware all the way, all the places. So if you click just one link, what would have happened? They would have taken you to a different place, and like things like that happens with WordPress. They do not happen if you are careful enough and you are working properly on your website. You can see that this is a WordPress or website which is on 4.8.15, which is bad. Always update, and 5 has been a very big change in WordPress ecosystem, and don't do that. Like you should always be on your toes when you're working with a WordPress website. As I said, it was one in every 3 websites on the globe, which so people if they can get access to one of the most used plugins. So recently, I think there has been a compromise in contact form 7 plugin. So that has opened the floodgates for millions of WP websites. So what will happen is this is one of the most popular contact like forms plugin website in WordPress. So if a hacker is just able to get one vulnerability in a single website, it automatically opens like this has more than 5 million active installations. I think the 5 million figure on WordPress.org is like a limitation, or that's the biggest number that we can see. Or maybe there is no plugin which has 10 million, more than 10 million installations, or like something like that. So the biggest number is 5 plus 5 million installations is what we can see on WordPress. So if one user, if like a hacker or any person, cybersecurity expert or vulnerability finding teams, whatever they're called, so if they are just able to find a vulnerability in a single plugin which is used by many people, they can get into millions of websites and they can do whatever they want to do with that plugins. So always security is one of the most important factor when you're working with WordPress websites. It's always recommended to have your own solution, but there are different various hostings which just do not install your WordPress or just install WordPress on your server or your instance. They will also create a firewall for your website. So there will be a firewall which is designed by the hosting provider. So that firewall, they have a list of blacklisted IPs. So again, if a hacker has to attack you, they have to use a system, and that system, they use similar systems, not the single system, but they use similar systems to attack other WP websites also. So these firewalls have knowledge on what are the blacklisted IPs. So again, similar firewall, or there is like a list of blacklisted IPs. So first thing is they have that the firewalls have knowledge on what to block, and you can see like let's say oxygenbuilder.com slash login is present, and we can log in here. But there are other URLs which do not exist, like slash question mark p equal to 123. So URLs like this, if someone like the hacker is using these URLs, which are like sometimes WordPress predefined URLs, and they're trying to hit some URLs which do not exist, then the firewalls will understand. Then if this is a firewall, then the spider sense for the firewall will go on, and they will think those there is someone who is accessing URLs which are not present. So that means he is not a real user. So if it's not a real user, it can be a web crawling like bots, like crawlers from search engine crawlers, or he can be a hacker trying to find some vulnerabilities. So if you have hosting providers which with a good reputation, not GoDaddy definitely. So Kinsta, I was thinking about Kinsta, Flywheel, WP engine. So all these, instead of just giving you a raw bare bone server with just operating system and maybe something like a server, or even with a database like MySQL, they not only just give you this, they will also give you all these other applications which you can spin your WordPress instance by a single click, like add a new WP instance by a single click, enable or disable firewall. You can enable or disable firewall by a single click. So, or in firewalls, there will be advanced options like blocking a complete IP or blacklisting it or whitelisting it. So these are solutions that the hosting providers provide. Again, it's not, you should not leave completely things completely to your hosting provider, or to the managed. So here we are. So these are like managed WP hosting providers. So they are managing your WordPress for you using all their services on top of the server. So these you should take care of. Okay, let me just add quickly. Maybe I will add it later. So these are the things that you should always keep in your mind. First is the location, second is caching, third is raw processing power. It's always good to have a powerful hosting than a weak hosting. Isn't it correct? It's like a dumb statement to make, but it's something we should always think about. And definitely the amount of resources that you need will definitely depend on how much traffic that you're getting. So they did change everything. So earlier this was not the case. This is a WordPress website. We cannot see the theme here, but they are not using a custom theme. They're using, oh, super intelligent people. They have disabled right click. This is what I don't like about people who do this. What are they going to achieve if they just disable right click? That's what the security they think is like. They think that they have enabled right, they have disabled right click, and their website is super secure. It's not. Okay, okay. Let's get back to the topic. So this is what I wanted to mention, and what I will do is I will quickly add the security thing there. Where has my mouse gone? Oh, come on. Okay. So we need to add one more. Security. Do you want to know how I'm getting all these icons here? Don't tell anyone this is our secret. So there is an extension or an add-on for this, like Google Slides. You get that, you have to get those, like get the install that, then you get flat icon. You can just say security, and that's it. What do you think is very good looks like security? And remember, we're just using simple icons here. Okay, this looks good. Let's insert this, but this looks very thick. But it's fine, it's fine. Come on, come on. So there we go, we have security. It's not security, it's security. That's it. So that's done. So we did not take so much time. Now we are here. We are at the. So we are going to talk about post types and post data. So when I say post types, there are several post types that WordPress gives us. WordPress is so kind. So by default, there are several post types, but the most important post types that we use on a daily basis when we are working with any Oxygen, when we are working with any WordPress website, our first is the blog post type, and the second one is the page post type. So the naming is obviously very confusing, but what we have to remember is WordPress was initially designed to be, sorry for changing the camera and stuff. So WordPress was initially designed to be just blogging platform, a platform for blogging or a technology for blogging, but it slowly grew itself into what most users were asking it to be. So then things have definitely changed, and WordPress is not just used for making blogging websites anymore. WordPress now is used to make e-commerce websites. What not, WordPress is used for literally to design any website on the internet. Again, one thing I like to mention here is WordPress is a content management system. WordPress is not a data heavy management system. Even though content is obviously, it does mean data, but I hope that you understand. We can write big blogs, but we cannot have a website which has thousands or tens of thousands of data entries. So maybe there I'm wrong. People are doing some crazy stuff with it with WordPress now. Fluent CRM being one, they are building a complete CRM system on WordPress. They are going away from WordPress default post template, like the data, the table which stores the post data. They're going away from it, but there's several important things. WordPress is still evolving. Gutenberg being one of the biggest contributing factor in the evolution of WordPress now. Okay, sorry for going off the rails, but so first thing we will, like, post and pages are both post types. That's one important thing I want to mention. So if we understand one thing, we will definitely understand other. So today we are trying to understand post type and post data. So blog post is what we are going to look at. Let's look at that. So this is one such thing I wanted to show you. Like, this is a blog that I wrote, and you can see that there is some. So this is in the WP dashboard, right? You see this in the WordPress dashboard. In WordPress dashboard, this is the title. There is a tag. Shit, I didn't add any tag, but it's fine. Oh, my bad. So just remember, if I just think that there is title, there is tag, or like this is the post. Okay, let me get my thoughts back. So you can see that this is, okay, see that this is the post that we have here. You can see there is title, there is tools, and there is the date where it is published. So the basically the post is made up of all the data, and it just holds it. You can see tools tags are here, and also the title is here. So everything is here, and this data is presented on the post. So you can see where this data is coming from. You added the data, and this is where it's coming from. What I wanted to mention is this it? One second. So posts are nothing but containers which hold the data for that container. So post, imagine post, this is post, and they hold the data which is like the post title, which is the author name, and it also has the date which is published in our tag. So all the data is separate thing, and this container is holding all the data, and this container is the post type. So that's one thing. So containers are post types, and post data is the data in that container. What we have to do, like, right now, whatever WordPress is giving us is definitely useful, is definitely the only thing that we need when we are building websites. But there are instances that when we might need to add some additional data. So for example, let's say you are building a website and the person who hired you to design the website is saying that they also want to show on the front end where the website's data where the post is posted from. So let's say they're a news organization, they want to have one person called co-author, or they want to have another person who publishes it. There is a writer is different person, publisher is different person, editor is different person, reporter can be a different person, cameraman can be a different person. All this data doesn't come with WordPress out of the box. What WordPress ships is, WordPress just ships the author data, which means whoever is the author that we have, we show that on the front. So in a website, when we are talking about something like showing, okay, let's what we will do something better this time. Let's create a Notion page. Okay, I'm doing it on another tab. Sorry if you cannot see that. Let me create a new page. Okay, this doesn't work. Let me create a page. I need to create a page. So now let's talk about what the online magazine wants. So by default, what we have out of the box, we have, first thing we have is the title. So it's fine. Everyone wants the title. It also has published date, last edited date. What else do we have? We have a featured image or highlight image. So I'm making it highlight image because in news we want that to be the highlight image. The other information, which also includes name. We also want categories and tags. That's all. That's things that we have. So I think these are like what we have. Now the client is coming up and they are asking, so they are the online news magazine. They also want, let's say they definitely want the title. They want to have published at. So they have set of areas, or maybe let's say they even, okay, this is published at is a location. But that's published at is the location, or it can be a predefined list of locations which they tell us, like they have offices at Delhi, Mumbai, London, Sydney, Toronto. So these are the places they have offices at. So if they publish some things, they will publish things from there. So they also want to, so author is different and also the editor is different. They want to show who the editor is. Let's also try to understand what data that there will be. So editor can be from the list of persons. That's it. So they have the list of persons who is the editor. In the same way, can be the cameraman. So they are a very ethical company. So they just want to tell everyone who worked on those stuff. It can be the editor also. So let's say these are the additional things. But WordPress does not give you an option to add other stuff to your post. There is one custom post option where you can just add a single value. but this is a predefined data. This is also from predefined data. This is also from the list of person, from the list of people. So if we want to add some kind of data to this, so this is not possible. So that's where either you have to create the data or either you have to create a new container. So when I say container, I'm referring to the post type. So post types are containers which hold the data. Yes, post types are containers and they are linked to data and the data is linked to them. Now what we have to do, like in some cases, the containers comes with some specific data like what we have seen here. So they come with some specific data and maybe we need more. In this case, we need more data to be added to the post type. So here we have to add that to a blog post, right? We have to add that to a blog post. We can do that because blog post already exists. But what if they want to add, we're not talking about an online magazine, but we're talking about a recipe. So recipe is not an extension of post, but recipe is a completely different thing. So when we are talking about an online recipe, we're talking about several things, like it has the dish has a name which we can use. What we can use for dish, we can use the title name as the dish name. We can use category, we can use tags, but duration is not in default post. There is nothing else which has common things between a recipe and a WordPress default post type. So in that cases, we need to create our own container to hold our own data. We need to create our own container to hold our own data. So to do that, we have to first register a container or we have to register a post type. To register a post type, our own custom post type, we are going to create our own containers by using custom post types. Custom post type is again a free plugin that you can download from wp.org, wordpress.org, and use it as you want. It's like completely free. And on the other side, to add the data fields and linking them to the post types, any post type, it can also be something which has already comes by default in WordPress. So you can add some post data to pages and also you can add some post data to blog posts or even your own custom posts. So to do that, to add the data fields, we need advanced custom fields, which is NAC, which is ACF. So both of the plugins are completely free. I just hope that this makes sense now, why we are using both a CPT and ACF. So one is for registering the custom post type and the other is for adding data to either custom post types, either adding data to the custom post types, or we can also add that to existing blog posts or page types. So I think this is fine. We have understood this. I really hope that you have understood this. Just let me know in the comments if you have understood, or if you want me to go a little bit deeper. There are only two people, but anyone who is here, please drop a message if you want me to cover more this thing in detail. Okay. In the meantime, what I will do is I will head to our WordPress installation. I have an obligation to go back to our things, and so this is what we have covered. We have understood what pages, posts, metadata like page meta and post meta, both like it's the same thing. We have discussed it in a different way. We have discussed what a post type is. WordPress. Let's see what WordPress is. Let's go. Let's go a little bit deeper. Now, what we will do is we will explore WordPress. The most popular custom post type in entire WordPress ecosystem is WooCommerce. WooCommerce helps you build an e-commerce platform from the scratch without actually doing a lot. Now let's get to my WordPress installation. We're not updating it to 5.6. As I told you, we're not going to do it. Let's see if we have the plugin installed. So we have Oxygen, we have Oxygen elements for WooCommerce, we have Oxygen Gutenberg integration. So everything is there. Now what we will do is we will add new plugin, which is WooCommerce. So to add any plugin, we do the same thing. We go to add plugins page and we type in whatever the plugin that we want, and we will install WooCommerce. See, WooCommerce has more than 5 million active installations, which is insane. Tech Hub, you are saying, you're asking me to that you have understand, but you want me to go deeper. Just say something more on that. Like, I know that you have learned all these things, but tell me, what do you want? Do you want me to cover each plugin in detail, or do you want me to build an actual custom post type and add custom fields and build a layout for that and show that on the front end? Again, let me talk. Let me repeat that. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to explain the plugin in detail, or do you want me to build an actual Oxygen based website using both of those plugins? So that's what I'm asking. So as soon as you install WordPress, the things that you have here are, it's asking for you to do something. It's asking for you to enter all the details. What we will do is like not the guys like us who just skip all the things. So always see what you're checking in or what you're selecting or not selecting. So build a better WooCommerce. It is asking you to share non-sensitive data via usage tracking that shows how WooCommerce is used. Don't do that if you don't want it. So they will get some non-sensitive data, non-confidential data, and they will use it to make WooCommerce a little bit better. Just don't do that, because now we have other things that we will only concentrate on. We will only concentrate on building a website, a WooCommerce website, because it is also a custom post type, which is the most popular one. Let's get started with it. So first of all, we need some products. So to add any products, it's very easy. Okay, let's add some products. Let's say product one is Oxygen. We know what we're doing, so Oxygen builder bootcamp. Okay, you want me to build an actual Oxygen powered website, so we will do that today. We will do that as soon as we can. Like we are already doing that. So we are building an Oxygen builder website. This is the big description, and let's add some price to it. Let's say it's in pounds. Let's say that we are still in pounds, and it is around The regular price is 200. We are making it 120. We need to set some images. Let's say this is our image. It will be looking very boring, but we just need to understand. I'm just trying to get some content here. So everything is like, come on. We want to do something for free, but it's not. Come on. This one is fine, but we don't want. We need some. Okay, it's not working. I think I have to write some stuff up. Okay, let's just copy stuff from here. Doesn't mean anything. Okay, we just add it. Okay, this looks very bad. Let's add the same stuff here. So this is definitely a custom post, which let's publish this. We have added the title, we have added data, we also added some description, product short description, added a price, we have a featured image. Now let's see it on the front end. So this is how the product will look on the front page. Let me tell you why this is happening. Oxygen needs to be told where we need to hold the data and which type of data that we hold. So we have to tell Oxygen how to render this content. So what we have to do is go to Oxygen. Again, we have to go to templates. We have no templates here. So first thing we will do is we will create a main template. So it's very easy, right? Main template. It is for catch all. We are going to catch everything with that. Let's publish this. We have published this. Now let's edit this and let's quickly create a what we are going to quickly create. We are going to quickly create a heading and a header and a footer. So to do that, we will use the Flexbox knowledge that we have created, that we have gained from our previous sessions. So this is taking more time than I expected it to take, but it's fine. I think that's how it will be, right? So let me add one section. And the good thing to do is always rename it. Let's rename it to header. Also, now let's add a background color to this. Let's add something which looks good. Okay, if you need something which looks good, always search for Tailwind CSS colors. So which one do I like? Which one do I like? Let me go a little bit deeper. This looks better. So this is going to be our primary color. Get rid of that. This looks good, but we don't need this much of padding. Let's just call it 2020. The top, okay, it's too less. Let's call it 40 maybe. That's 40. Why it's not working? It's working. It's working. I think that is 40 40. I don't think so. It's okay. That's fine. Now we also need something in the footer. So I'll just duplicate this. Let's just duplicate this. And what we will do, we will, okay, first rename this. We will also change the background color to be something very dull because we don't want it to be taking all the attention. Or let's get something lighter like this. We want to have one white color. So where would we get our white? So let's say this is our white. This is our white color. Again, if we want to make things on a global level, have to go to settings, global styles in colors. Let's add it. Okay, in global colors we can add this. So let's say this is our white color, our white, and let's add. This is a new color. This is so this is our white. Now we have to add something else. We need to add black. So I think this is going to our black. Color name is our black, and in this you paste this. And I think the okay. Let's also add these two. This is our bright pink. Color name is bright pink. Now let's go here. Let's call this light pink. Let's add the color. Now we are done. Maybe we should definitely build one complete website, proper website without actually missing anything. To choose the right fonts, always do font pairing generator. So these are font pair. I normally use, I don't know what font joy. I maybe tried it once, but I always choose font pair. Here there are predefined fonts like this is Laura and Meriwether. So heading is Laura and body is Meriwether. You can see how those two look together. So this one looks pretty dope. This looks like a proper type typography. This one has a very good like when you like things that you see on print. Rubik and Carl are also pretty good. I think every font combination that you see here is good. This one looks pretty good. The heading is biorhyme. I think this one is good. Biorhyme is looking very different. So that's one thing. So biorhyme, yes, and maybe we need something else for the body. Maven Pro and what was the other thing? Biorhyme and okay. Let me add the first thing. Let's go to typography. To go to typography, first thing you have to select the headings, which is the what heading is, right? What is the font family, font size. Let's go to body text. Okay, this is very hard. Like in fonts, we have to select what is the display font we want it to be. Biorhyme, which looks very funky. So this is Biorhyme. And the other thing that we were looking at was Maven Pro. Now we have global colors. Okay, so what we want to add, let's select the header. Let's just create a heading there. If you add a heading, you will automatically get that. Now we also have one more thing that we have left is we have to select the body and let's say let's make it white headings. So the h1 will always be white. Let's call this e-commerce website. What do we sell? Like WP Learning. So that's our logo. Now that's our logo. That's our logo. There is one easy way to do the logo. Let me just get rid of this. I know it's very sad. So there is one thing which is called header builder. So header builder have several options. So and this is very like it is packed with options. For example, you can create it, you can automatically make it sticky, also you can create an overlay, so all that stuff, and also you can stack them properly. So all this stuff is possible with header builder. So if you want to make a quick website like we are making it, we don't need that stuff. Like which stuff? We don't need the custom heading builder that I was just doing. So we know which background color, this is the background color that we're going for. And first thing, let's add head text, heading, let's add heading. So this is the heading that we have, or it automatically went there. This is learn WP. Now we need to add pro menu. Let me tell you what pro menu is. So let's see where it's going. We don't have any menu elements in that, so it by default gets something, but we don't want pro menu there. We want that to be in the last one. So in pro menu there are different options, so you can toggle it whenever you want to toggle it. You can do that. Let's say we want that to happen after 768. Right now it will be small, but before that I think we never did that. That's so stupid of me. So to create a menu, you have to go to appearance, and let's go to menus. So in this, we have to create a menu. Let's call it e-commerce landing menu. Let's just add some, okay, we have some pretty interesting stuff here. Let's add, that's it. Or we can just click on view all. Cart is first, shop is second, my account is okay. This looks fine, but let's save this. Now if we go back, I don't think we need to reload that. Maybe we think we need to reload that. Okay, let's save. Let me reload. Then you will get which menu do you want to select. That option is what you will get. So here you can see now we have a menu. Whatever the menu that we have added there, we got the same thing here. They have some very decent looking presets which Oxygen ships. So there are some things which I like. I think it was slide to right, maybe. I think this was the one that I always liked. So they have this very decent one, which I normally use for everything. If I am going to use Oxygen shipped one, this is the one I like, and this is the one I normally use. Now let's go. Let's get back. Desktop menu is going to be, we can take care of various stuff. So the mobile menu is not, it should not be always, it should be less than 768. Then we will get all this stuff. So desktop menu, you can configure different elements, like you can configure the typography. You know what we want the color to be, we want it to be our white, and this is our light pink. Okay, we want it to be white. You can see that we have made the changes. Now the text is getting inherited, and that's a good thing. I think it's now at 12. Let's make this 14. It was at 14. Why isn't it working? So let's make that 21. I think 21 looks good. I think there are a couple of other things that we have to take care. Is spacing, alignment, and there is item margin and item padding. So you can see what will happen is, so that's within it. But if you want them to have margin within themselves, there you go with margin. This looks good, right? Before it was very dumb, but now I think it's looking fine. Let me just say this. And if we go to here, I think this looks bad. This looks bad. We want the mobile menu, open typography, menu styles. We want the background to match whatever we have here. It's not working. The thing is, we got something from the preset, so the preset has that stuff. Drop down background color. Let's try this. It's not working. So whatever, let's say that uh, this is everything that we wanted. Let's just behave like that. Let me just give one last chance, try to this. Okay, let's get over this. So let's say this is one thing that we wanted, the menu item, and it looks good. So the menu is sorted. Now let's quickly go to the footer and let's add some copyright stuff and never think of it. We want some text. So the text is white because you remember that we made it white. Let's go to the section and let's center align it. All copyrights received on WP. Now what we will do, instead of that pink, we will do this and also increase the font size to 22. So we have created a header and footer. Now we just have to add inner content inside that. Now we are good. We are very good. Maybe the header is like looking very small. That's because it does not have any padding. Let's try margin. No, 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 sorry. This looks good. Let's see how it looks on the front end. So this is how this page looks on front end. Maybe the footer has so much of unnecessary spacing to it. Let's just get rid of it. It has 40. Let's make it 20. That should be enough. It's 20, not 29. Okay. 29. We have created the layout. Now, if we open this page now, let's just view this page on the front page, we will have something inside that. So this is how, if you don't style anything, Oxygen, like this is how Oxygen, like WooCommerce products will look with. This looks very bad. We all know that this looks bad, right? Now let's handle stuff. Now let's properly handle stuff. This is how it looks. I think this is fine. Like this is not fine. This is very bad. Now what we will do is we have created a template which will take care of all the pages. But I think we need to create a template which will take care of the product pages. Here it always asks you, Mr. Please generate the CSS cache. And clicking on that will automatically generate the CSS cache. Now what we will do is we will create a template which is called single product template, and it will inherit the design from main. And remember, if multiple templates could apply, the template with the highest priority number will be used. So the main template is already taking care of designing, like rendering content for everything on our website. So it will also take care of rendering the product post. So to override that, what we have to do is we have to increase the priority of this template and click on publish. Then you have to select where you want the whatever post that what you are designing this for something, right? We are designing this for products. We want products post types, singular product post types to take this template. Let's say I should have done both of them at the same time, but I was not thinking properly. It is saying that Oxygen is open in another tab by another user. Please close that other instance of the builder and refresh this page to edit. I don't care. Let's just close that now. Let's just close it. Okay. Okay. So this is the product that is already that we have already designed. Now what we have to do is we have to use WooCommerce modules that are provided by Oxygen. If we just do the default one, which is okay, let's add some section to it so we get some spacing here and there. Then we add that stuff here. Let's click on save. So here we have some kind of styling. So now we have some proper styling for it, but again, this is not looking very good. We added some data here. We can see the description. We can see all the reviews here. So in this, if we want to customize stuff, one second. What we can do is either we can just leave everything like this, then Oxygen, whatever Oxygen is shipping, you can use them. But if you want to custom design everything, you can do that. But let's just so the okay, you can see the body text is here, but we're not able to see because we said that it should take white color. Okay. Now we will try to redesign the same thing. Then we will understand how we can show everything in Oxygen. The first thing, the most important thing is always the title. So to add the title, there are some available product elements, like we have product title here. Come on. So this is the product title. Maybe let's just make it even larger. No, I think we can properly use divs and stuff because we can. Let me rename this. We will add some details, like we will add product and title and price. So here we will also add title. We add a title. We are going to add the price. First thing, we will center this both of them, but instead of showing them one below the other, we are going to show them one beside the other. And we are going to use, this is not what I want, this is what I wanted. We want it to be spaced around. Now what I want is, I want this to be like very big. Color and typography, we want the color strike through. This is vertical, I want that to be horizontal. It's fine. Again, this is not horizontal, this is vertical. Okay, the easiest way that we can get rid of that is, let's just go to the product and let's get rid of the sales price. Now it will go away. What did I do? So I deleted both. The regular price will be 200 and that's how it will be. So it was not having a price that way. That's why it went away. Okay, let's just reload it. This looks good. What we will do is we will make some design changes as we do with every other thing. So this is the title and price div. What we will do is we will add some background to it. So the background color is our light pink. Now let's style, like let's add some margin like 10 pixels in some padding in every direction. And product page will also have some designs, like it will have its own different white. Okay, not you. We wanted to have a background color of that white. And also let's create a class called p5, which means padding 5 on each direction. So for that we just have to go to and add margin, padding margin on each direction. And as always, let's create border radius is our class, which means we are going to have a border radius of 5 pixels, 10 pixels in each direction. That's it. What's happening? Sometimes receiving 502 error, was it? Okay. So it did get that, but I think the border padding is a little bit less. It's fine, that's something. So one thing, let me just get this. Tailwind CSS, Tailwind cheat sheet. I got this. This is what I was referring to. A friend of mine suggested to use this. We want to get some shadows, so we type the shadow, and we will get this. So this is everything, the shadow CSS that we want. So we are looking for something like this. This looks fine. Like if you want to see how this one actually, so this is okay. This is not the style cheat sheet for two Tailwind 2, but this is fine. Let's go back. We're also trying to create a box shadow. We already have a class called box shadow. I think this is coming from my just1ch.com thing. I think I have to make this 10 instead of 5. I deleted that. Now I'm creating a new thing which is called p10, which means it has to be 10 pixels in each direction. Let's just view this page on the front end. Border radius. Again, let's add another shadow to this. Let's just see how it's looking on the front page. Oxygen Builder Bootcamp, it's $200. So after this, we will add some other content to it. So this is the title and price. Now we are going to add div, and inside that div, we will add description. This is product description. It doesn't have, it has product description. Let me show this to you. Okay, this may not have any product description there. Okay, let's just go to the product and let's add. So this is the product description. So we need to add some stuff here. What's happening? Okay, let's reload this page. It's there, but we're not able to see it. That means we need to make product description color as black. And let's save this. Let's check that on the front page. Not here. What was I thinking? So here, but again, it's still that's because it's an inline style. That's because we got that from another resource and we just made it. We copied and pasted it, but that was if let me show it. So this is the problem. So it has an inline styles of some stupid styling that we got from the other website. Okay, let's not type this. Let's just type whatever the stuff we want here. Okay, we're getting the content right now. But again, it's still not visible here. I'm not able to understand why it's not visible here. As let me just get some content from Lorem Ipsum. I have it here. What's happening? Let's make one little thing here. Let's go to settings, global colors. Let's make our global color. It's not it. Let's make our fonts body font. It cannot be white. Let's make that black. Okay, now we are able to see it. So this body not only applies to our in oxygen thing, it's a global thing. So that's what it was saying. I was not able to stupid me. Okay, I got it now, got it now. Mhm. We got the content now. Let's add some margin to have some spacing between that and this. What is the default font size? Let's make it 16. It's still the same. Let's make it bigger than that. Make it 20. So product description has to be bigger than this. The beautiful thing about product description is okay, let's get a short product description. Okay, this looks. Okay, I got a neat idea what we can do here. So instead of this, what first thing we have to make this 100 percent. Now we can add our images here. And this will be, okay, let's add a column here. We are going to add a column after the title and prices. Now that column will be 40 and 60. So come on boy, come on, move it, move it, move it. Okay, the dude is very persistent, is not, it does not want to go there. So what we will do, we use the drag and drop feature on off of oxygen. We add the content here. If we want to make some changes, it's very easy. We just go to the column and say, we just go to the specific column and just let's say this is 45, and it automatically becomes the other automatically becomes 55. So this one, the benefit of having oxygen, we can center things in a different way. Now this is entirely text, so I think we can justify content, left align it, middle align it. Like we can do stuff like this. Now let's save this. The problem is the layout. Everything is fine. Maybe let's also increase the. Let's add our default classes. We need the box shadow here, which I don't think it's working. It's not working. Maybe if we just have the background color as seed, nothing. It's not. It's, okay, the box shadow. It's not picking up. It's fine. It's fine. Box shadow. Let's get rid of the box shadow for this, or maybe just the. Just get rid of this. Mhm. We are making some good improvements over what we got out of the box. So let's add background color of, does this look bad? Maybe this is fine. Maybe this one is brilliant. With this one, I think this one is what we are going to choose now. Let's save this. This is product description, but it does not look like product description. That's what I don't like here. Generator, okay, what do we want? Standard Ipsum, plain text, HTML. Okay, this is where we are. Okay, this is not where, this is where we are. Let's reload this. So this looks good except for this thumbnail which is like massive. Let me just check how can I change this. We definitely need to change this. Now let's go back to our builder. I think we added margin here, right? Okay, I did not add margin. Where did it go? So I added margin now. Again, what we will do, we will add the box shadow for this, and also let's add border radius. Okay, I added the box shadow, but I got rid of that because remember I deleted the div and I thought of using this one. We can handle the width of that image and we can say maximum it has to be 500 pixels. It can be 500 pixels. Now we can configure the div where we want it to be. We can always say to display it on the center or display it on the right. say displayed on the left, and let's see how it's looking now. This is a little bit okay. Maybe it's okay, maybe it's not okay. We will slowly take care of it. So the same philosophy works for both the custom post types, which are, so we are actually configuring custom post types. You can, if you can understand what's going on here. If we just, let's go to 992. I think we have to even adjust for things below here. So this is fine, but the font is too big. So let's see how much the font was here. It was 60. It shouldn't be 60. We can get it up to 48 maybe. Let's say, let's try 44. I think this is looking good. 44 is looking good. Where did I change that? Okay, that's good. Also, we need to change in the this option itself. Let's make it 22. It was always 20. Let's make this 22, and we can change the width of this element to be 3, not 300. 300 is too small. 400 pixels. The maximum it will be 400 pixels. Let's get to the next resolution and see if its stuff is working or not. So here it has to be display flex. It is horizontally aligned. So let's just, oh shit. Okay, this it's horizontal. It was supposed to be justified. Okay, okay. This is looking good, but again, let's go here and make some. I think the price is looking way big. It was, I think it was 24, right? Or it was 44. Let's try 36. And that is big. 32. Now we are getting somewhere. The color, the typography, it was 32. Let's make this 26. I think. Okay, 26. I thought. So this is where we are getting at. Now what will happen is if we just add a new product, this one is good. Let's also get this one. We have two here. Now let's add both of them to our media library. We have added both of them. Now we are creating a new product. Where are we doing that? Okay, this is product 2. Let's get some description. This is product 2 is the second product in the lineup of things which were supposed to launch together. It is one of the finest things that have happened. Let's also paste this here. Let's add a regular price, which is 230. Let's get some product images. Okay, okay. Let's push. Okay, okay, okay. And let's push update. Now let's see how this looks on the front end. So automatically we are getting all the information about the new product, the price, and stuff that we want it to have. The most important thing that we forgot to add here is the buy now button. So what we will do is we will create something funky from what we have learned in the buy now button. Remember, when you are building anything, it always has to be in this wrapper, which is product builder. So we will add a button, we will add a div, and inside that div we will add button. In WooCommerce there is a button called add to cart. Where is it? Product cart button. So this is what we want. Okay, this is what we want, but this looks very bad. Colors, 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 colors. Does it take the background pattern? It takes, but it's not what we want it to do. Add to cart button, the button background color, it has to be this, and when people hover over it, it has to be this, right? Button typography. Okay, we don't care about button typography. What we want, what I'm looking for is when we hover over it, we want to change the background color, like text color of it. Labels, inputs, typography. Okay, let it be, let it be. One thing I wanted to do is we learned about some positions, remember? So what we will do is we will use that knowledge. Where is it? Where is it? Position. It has to be somewhere. Still in product description. Visibility, visible. Okay, here I almost missed it. So it has to be at the bottom. That's what we were. That's where we wanted. So if we just fix it like this, let's say we want it to be floating at 10 pixels maybe, and also right from 10 pixels. We can say how wide we want it to be, maybe like 20%. So if we do this, what will happen? Again, we want it to be transparent. Not transparent, we don't want it to be transparent. So if we do this, it always be fixed there. And when you like scroll stuff, there will be like this kind of effect. Like, let me share this thing in the chat. So you can see that it will always be there, and it will be like a reminder for the customers to buy it. I dropped it in the comments in the YouTube live stream. Just go there and open it once, and that I think will be like a very good effect. That's what I used in designing, adding stuff to my own website. Just check that, open it once and just check it. It should be good. So in mobile, it is looking absolutely bad. Let's check how it will look on mobile. So this is how it's looking on mobile. So what we should do. So the problem here is we made it 10%, 20% maybe. Let's make it 40, or let's make it 40%, not pixels. It's not still enough for it. It's so greedy. So we can do this. It's 100%, or maybe 80 might just do the job. 80, I think it will do the job. If just reload the page once again and see how it's looking on the mobile screens. So you can see that there is an option like add to cart always there, which is what we want. So that's something which we have learned from the bootcamp previously, and we have like used the same thing to add that stuff to the bottom. But I don't think the numbers look very good. Let's see if there is an option to inputs. I think this is what he mean by input, right? Yes, that is what they mean by input. But we don't want that. The problem is, let's say add to cart. I think we can customize that stuff, but Oxygen WooCommerce is not as matured as other stuff. Like templating is so powerful in Oxygen, but Oxygen WooCommerce is still has some places to go. What we can do is, let's go to settings and let's enable selector detector. It looks good on the desktop, yes. Even on mobile, I think it's looking fine. Now let's just reload this. I'm trying to get rid of this button using selector detector. Here we have the hat. Okay, the mouse is not working. My mouse is not working. It's okay. I think my mouse has completely given up at this point. It's working again. Where is our selector detector? It is enabled. Is it enabled? Yes, it is enabled. Enable selector detector. Let me just add something else. I think it's only for shortcodes. Is it so? Okay, I think it's only for short. Let's try it. Yes, I think it is only for shortcodes. I forgot. Okay, we cannot configure everything with selector detector. We have to go to our cart option, add to cart product. So out of text clear link. What is clear link? So okay. For time being, I think you are getting the point here. So what we will do is we will add some custom fields to it. So here, let's say we have the product too, but we also want to have designer name. So what we will do is we will install a plugin which will let us add custom fields. The custom field here is the designer name, the teacher name, advanced custom fields. This is the plugin. Let's activate it. We got that we have advanced custom fields here. So you can see that there is an option called custom fields. Now let's go to field groups. In field group, let's create a new field which is called additional WooCommerce product additional data. Doesn't matter which template it is using. We are just adding new field group. So let's close this. So this applies if the post type is equal to product, right? So where it is active, first thing we have to add some fields to it. Let's add one field and let's call it teacher other second teacher. Let's call it teacher name. Field type is text. Enter the main teacher name. Is it required? Yes. What is the default value? We don't care. We don't care. Is it a conditional logic? The main teacher is not a conditional logic. Let's add another field. Let's add another field. It is called assistant. Let's call this is number of teachers. It's the number. So number of teachers is a number. What I'm thinking is if there are teachers more than one, only then we have to show the data as like show additional like show assistant teachers. So instructions number of teachers who are teaching. Is it required? Yes, it is required. What is the default value? 1. So pretend it doesn't matter. So it a conditional logic? No, even this is not a conditional logic. So assistant teacher is the conditional logic. Assistant teachers. So this is not, this is assistant teacher. So this is text. Required, is it required? No. Instructions, add the assistant teacher name. Assistant, no S. Teacher, is it required? No, no, no. Is it a conditional logic? Yes. Main teacher name, number of teachers has any value, has a value which is greater than 1. So if number of teachers value is greater than 1 only then we will get this information. So show this field only if the student's value is greater than 1. So this is a very helpful thing. So here you understand where we can use this, right? So if the data, if number of teachers are more than 1, then we will show this. Assistant teacher, okay. I think this is enough. So these are like what select items to hide them from the edit screen. I think we can let it be. We don't need this. We don't need. Okay, let it be. Let it be. Now let's publish this. So after we publish this, now let's go to our product page, product edit page, and let's just reload this. After we reload this, we will get the custom post data. Let's okay, no. Let's minimize this. It's asking us main teacher name. So main teacher name is Yashwant Chedalavada. So how many teachers do we have? We have 2 teachers. Only then we will get this. See, this is pretty good. Add the assistant teacher name. What is the assistant teacher name? His name is Learn WP Admin. So all this data will be linked to this post type. So if we save this, which we are doing right now, we can just go to the template. Where is our template? So this is our template. So before showing the product description, this is the product description. Remember, this is the product description. Before that, let's just save this and just reload this one. Then it will get all the data. It's taking more time. Maybe I should close some of my tabs here, which we don't need. Okay. What we will do, we will add some teacher information here. So this is, we also can add, so we need to add data, which is from ACF. So to do that, let's check for WordPress, dynamic data, custom fields, key, assistant teacher, insert. So we're not getting anything. So let's get rid of this. Or is it shown and we're not able to see it? Let's just check this once. Okay, okay, I did something wrong, but I know what I did. So we need to add some text inside it, and that text is at the bottom. Let's take this to the top. What do we need here? We need this to be okay. Let's make it more clear for anyone who is watching. So first thing is we need a heading, right? We need a heading which says, let's make it H4. We need a heading which says, it has to be darker, instructor name, and this has to be dynamic data which is coming from advanced custom fields. Advanced custom field name is main teacher name, and we are going to this, so it will get whatever the name of the instructor is. Now let's configure it to look proper. Let's also increase the font size to 24, which makes it bigger than the heading. Okay, let's just make this heading 2, not 2 3. Okay, it's 2 then. So we got this. There can also be an additional instructor. So let's it cannot be for everything. Let's do the over complicated stuff later. Now let's duplicate this. Now it will be H4, H4, H3, assistant instructor. Now let's add another text here. So this also has to be 20, 20. Let's just make it 20. Now we have to insert the data, which is advanced custom field again, has to be assistant teacher. So we got something and we have to add another heading. Now we will, instead of another heading, we need to first add some, okay, let's just add another heading here. This is product description, course description. So there was no data for this, so that's why nothing is showing there. What we will do, we will go to our all products, and for Oxygen Builder Bootcamp, what we will do is we edit that page, and we will get like who the main teacher name is Jashwant Chadalavada. Let's save that. Now let's reload this. You can see the instructor name is Jashwant Chadalavada, but there is no assistant instructor. So maybe we can improve upon this by saying if there is no additional instructor, then this entire text should not be shown. We can do that. Let's just check this once. Conditional logic is only applicable. Okay. So this is how we can design a WooCommerce page. We can customize them in any, like there are several customizable options, but it's not as powerful as normal Oxygen builder, which gives us so much control over other post types like custom post types or post type or page types. But this is pretty powerful because we can still use all the Oxygen features like padding, margin, flexbox, and stuff. So I would say this is still powerful, but there are some things which I don't like. Is if we are talking about this, you can see that input, I cannot change the input. Like I cannot remove the input. I cannot just add an add to cart button there. That's something like you can see that this is label, right? What if I don't want to show any label? In normal cases, like in normal case, if we just press go to advanced, and if I select layout and put on display 9, it would have been like only the icon would have gone, like only this label would have been hidden, but it's not the case. This entire, we do not have entire advanced tab for this element alone. So it's not yet there, but there are other powerful features where the time is being spent on. Again, it's what it is, right? Okay for today. So let me know how was the session. Let me know how was the session. So this is how we can build WooCommerce site. So tomorrow I think we will start building a custom post type of our own. Today we used WooCommerce custom post type, and we added some data to it. So tomorrow we will add our own custom post and our own advanced custom fields, and together we will create a custom post, like a template, a single page, single post type, and also archive custom post template. Please let me know how was the session. Thanks a lot for saying it was pretty good. I'm very happy to hear that. Okay, tomorrow we will be back at the same time. So thanks a lot for chipping in. Thanks a lot for coming again today. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. Spend your nights and spend the rest of your day. Have a great day. Okay, I think I have to put the tradition.